What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Movies That Make You podcast, where movies are more than just entertainment. They're a catalyst for meaningful conversations. I'm Jonathan Sprang, and I go by Sprang. And most weeks we dive into movies to watch in preparation for a new release hitting theaters. But we don't stop there. We talk about the deeper ideas, the life lessons, and the morals that these films have to offer. This week, we're going to be gearing up for Jurassic World Rebirth. In order to get ready for that film, we rewatched the original Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic World, and Jurassic World Dominion, all in preparation to see the new one, starring Scarlett Johansson. We like dinosaurs, and we're looking forward to it. We hope you'll go check out our website. It's bio.site/movies that make you. There you'll find all of our links to all of our social media channels on YouTube, Instagram, and elsewhere. You can also find our podcast links to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also check out our letterbox, which shows you all of our lists on the movies that make you laugh, the movies that make you cry, the movies that make you scream, and everything in between. Before we dive into this week's episode, though, let's take a look at the next 4 weeks on the Movies That Make You podcast. Next week, it is one of the most anticipated films of the year, and that is James Gunn's Superman. This is kicking off the new DC universe in the films with James Gunn at the helm creatively. And so we're really looking forward to this film. To gear up for that, we're going to watch the first iteration of each of the ones that have been on film. So Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve, Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, and The Man of Steel with Henry Cavill. I really wish he could have stayed as Superman. He was incredible. The week after that, Kristen's going to be on, and we're going to be talking I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is another one of those 90s classics that came out around the same time as Scream, so we just have a lot of fun with those, and looking forward to that conversation and the rewatch. The week after that, it is Marvel's most anticipated film of the year. That is Fantastic Four. This has been in the works for a very long time. As soon as they bought Fox, everyone was excited for when we would get Fantastic Four. We got a little hint of him in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but this one looks to be in. The week after that, we're going to talk about Bad Guys. We're going to gear up for Bad Guys 2 by watching Bad Guys, the original, and Wreck-It Ralph, which is another story about a bad guy who's not really a bad guy. That was my Zangief impression. So without further ado, let's get to the podcast. We are back with another episode of the Movies That Make You podcast. I am Sprang, and I'm the dad. Let's run it down, oldest to youngest.
I'm Connor, I'm 15.
I'm Colton, I'm 12 and 9/10.
I'm Ezekiel, and I'm 11 and a half.
Yes, and we are here, have a good fun time talking about Jurassic Park movies. In preparation for the new Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Rebirth, we watched the original Jurassic Park, we watched the first Jurassic World, and we watched Jurassic World Dominion because that was the film that brought the original cast from Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World cast together about halfway through the film. So I thought that would be a fun way of kind of seeing where the series left off. This new one looks to be fun. It's got Scarlett Johansson in it. It's got Mahershala Ali. And they are going to try and save people from the Jurassic Island that all the scary new dinosaurs are on. So we're looking forward to that. That comes out this Friday. So we watch those movies to prepare for it. But before we jump into the movies, let's do our mustards. Because when you mustard, you got to catch up. Zeke, why don't you go first? How's your week been?
My weekend has been amazing. We're going to go to Fan Expo, and we're going to have some fun. And we got some cosplay.
Who are you going as?
It's a surprise. We're also doing the cosplay for the special surprise.
Yeah, we might do a cosplay picture down in the comments or in the description below, YouTubers.
Nice. Connor, how about you? How's your week?
It's going good. I've beaten both parts of the Lego Jurassic game, and it's only 14% done. Yeah.
Nice. Colton, how about you?
My week's been going pretty good. I got a new haircut. I look like Spock, but it's fine.
Commander Spock?
Spock from
If you had the
Star
long
Trek.
ears.
I have long ears.
From Star Trek?
Move them.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually
I
does
can't
have
really
pretty
move.
long ears.
I thought you could move them.
Oh, wait.
I see it.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
there it is. Yeah, and you got some styling stuff to make sure it looks nice. That's going to be good. Awesome. Yes, my week was pretty good too. We had a lot of good progress at work for work items. Had a lot of fun doing some podcast editing this week. We watched some good movies. Had a good week. Excited for Fan Expo tomorrow. This past weekend, Kristen and I went to Texas Frightmare, which is basically like a horror Comic-Con or horror con, and had a lot of fun at that. Got to meet some folks. Got to get a couple signatures from my favorite horror franchise, Scream. What was that?
Signatures.
I get it.
Did I say that?
You're interrupting.
No, you said signatures, and I said sigmatures.
I get it now. Thank you. Yeah, so good week. Excited for the next couple weeks of podcasts. June was slam packed full of great movies. July is going to be even better. We've already had a couple of good movies drop this month, so very exciting stuff. Before we jump into the movies in particular, what was your first experience with dinosaurs, Connor? Do you remember?
I didn't really like dinosaurs when I was a kid. I like cars. I think Jurassic World. That's because that's all I remember. Or the Lego Jurassic.
Okay. Cool. What about you, Colton?
Well, it wasn't really dinosaurs with me, but I really loved the Jurassic Park Lego sets. I did so many of those. That's my favorite Lego set to date. It's just, I don't know, they're fun. Like,
Didn't you make me build them?
No, I built them. Okay, when I was like 5 or 6, 7, but when I was like 8, 9, 10, I built all of them. For my Jurassic ones. The other ones, yeah, Connor, you can build.
Yep. What about you, Zeke?
My first experience with dinosaurs was when we had this robotic dinosaur from Jurassic World. It made all these kinds of noises. We could control it. It was really cool. I loved it. I treated it like a baby. Sometimes I got my security stuffed animal and destroyed the dinosaur with it because he was the bad guy. But I was a child. Now I'm 11 and a half.
Yep.
I think
he got this dinosaur that goes on his finger at Walgreens.
And yeah, I thought it would tell me where everyone was. So I asked, hey, dinosaur on my finger that doesn't know who I am or have never seen the outside world and it's just a robotic that is just telling me random stuff. And I said, hey, where's my sister? It said, at the bridge. No, wait, no, sorry. Actually, it said, Matt.
That's funny.
It could like listen to you. And
and I really thought that I swear that it said at a house, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, how does it know?"
That's crazy. So I remember the first thing that we had toy-wise for the boys was this some sort of thing that it had a bunch of dinosaurs, and you could push the buttons, and the guy would talk to you about them. It sounded like the voice of the guy from the actual Jurassic Park movie, with the little DNA guy that was jumping around and talking.
I'm Mr. DNA.
Yeah. And so when you push this one button, it was like, dinosaurs, yeah. And so we always push that button a whole bunch. That was kind of wild. Dinosaurs, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't know from myself when I first kind of encountered dinosaurs, but I mean, I was 16, I think, or whatever, when the first Jurassic Park came out. So that was kind of crazy. So I remember going to see it, but I know I'd had interactions with dinosaurs before that, but not a ton that I can remember. So they weren't like a big part of my life growing up, but I've enjoyed the Jurassic Park movies. So it's based off of a book by Michael Crichton. The first book was basically the first movie, and then they tried to do sequels to that. So they did Jurassic Park, they did Jurassic Park 2, Jurassic Park 3, and it was kind of just lowering in quality. So then in 2014, they rebooted the franchise with Jurassic World, and then Jurassic World Extinction, and then Jurassic World Dominion, and then the new one is Jurassic World Rebirth. So going to be 7 movies in this franchise, and I'm really excited. Like it's not like a reboot. It's kind of like a requel. They're like kind of bringing the old cast back. Jeff Goldblum was actually at the very end of the first Jurassic World movie, meeting in front of Congress when the dinosaurs got out, and kind of said like, yeah, we got to be careful with doing the dinosaurs. All right, so let's jump into the movies. Jurassic Park came out in 1993. I was actually 13 when it came out. and it really wowed the world. And really, what did you guys think of the CG before we jump into the story? What did you think of the CG in the first
Actually,
one?
pretty
It was
good.
really good.
It was very impressive. And I know, Connor, you commented a little bit about where it wasn't CG, but it was puppets, right?
Because you could tell.
Share a little bit about that.
Yeah. Or some of them for the up close shots, they made puppets, but for fast movements and large things, I use CG.
They redid that even in Jurassic World. They kind of went back and did that too. So we had more, they call it practical effects instead of computer effects for the close-up stuff when they're like trying to touch the dinosaur and up close to the dinosaur. The movie was directed by Steven Spielberg. He also directed Jaws. He directed E.T. He directed Close Encounters of a Third Kind. He's directed so many movies. Actually, he directed the Indiana Jones films as well. So he's got a lot of films that are that we've seen before. They actually had the novel writer come in and is credited as one of the writers on it, along with David Koepp. And then it stars Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. All right, Colton, you want to give us a little rundown of the first movie?
Go.
Oh shoot. Yeah, sure.
I played the Jurassic game.
Yeah, let Connor do it. He played the Jurassic game.
Was it the Jurassic Park game?
Yeah.
Or Jurassic World?
Lego Jurassic Park. And I played the World.
Okay.
I'll do the
Cool.
World. I like the World.
You
better.
remember. I can't remember. I just played it today.
You start off and they're at that
Flying
digging
helicopter.
site.
Or
The
yeah,
digging
they're at
site.
the digging site, and then they meet the guy, and he's telling them he wants to, he wants to show them this land they made, and then they fly over to the land, and then they drive around, and they see some dinosaurs, and there's way more than that.
They were like, "Hey, look at the dinosaurs!" And then they go to the main area. Remember, they go through the gates, and then they go to that big house where the guy's meeting them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his
then-
grandchildren go up to him like,
Oh,
hey.
and then they meet him, and then they go on the ride, and then they're
Mhm.
driving along, and then a storm's coming, so then they just let them through, and then the ride stops, and then a T-Rex comes through, boom, and destroys everything, and then he flips over the car, and then mud gets all in the car, and he gets them out, and then he jumps off like this thing.
Damn.
Okay.
He jumps off of a dam.
Yep. And then he jumps down, or he like slides down because he has a rope. And then the car goes in the tree, and the kid is still in the car. And then he goes up the tree and rescues the kid. And then they, I can't really remember a thing. After
Then
that.
they go into the trees, and the dinosaurs are looking at them. The girl gets super scared.
Mm-hmm.
You got that, Colton. You got that.
Yeah, and then the other group catches up to them, and they all kind of get out of the park. They get saved, whatever.
Yeah.
The other side of this is that the one character is trying to steal dinosaur DNA and sell it on the black market. So that's going on too. But he ends up getting eaten by.
Just full of swords.
Not eaten. He gets, well, I guess he gets eaten, but he gets poisoned by the one that's got the really cool face thing that comes upon his side. Yeah.
Like, his name
Wait,
is Ned.
we need to bring up different types of dinosaurs. Search up dinosaurs.
No.
Different types of dinosaurs. So
Why?
we know which ones when we're talking about them.
Yeah. And then Samuel L. Jackson's in it also as one of the technical guys. I really liked, there's one scene where he's got a cigarette hanging on his mouth and he's talking all this really insane like technical jargon, but the cigarette's just like bouncing on his mouth while he's talking. I thought that was a really funny part. It's really classic. Yeah.
The funny thing for this movie was where the girl was like, where the arm was
Chicken.
on the girl's shoulder, and she was like, "Oh my goodness!" And then she pulls the arm out, and then she's like,
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, the kids are really scared. The kids get trapped in the kitchen at one point, and then they are able to get away. That was pretty cool. And then there's that one scene where the velociraptors like are painted on the wall, and then you see like the real velociraptors walking through this place, and then the Velociraptors are about to take everybody out, and then the T-Rex comes in and fights the Velociraptors, and they're able to escape. So that's pretty much the rundown of the movie. So what are some of your favorite parts, Colton?
The Fortnite part where the kids are in the kitchen and then the Velociraptors come behind them is a Fortnite loading screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Connor, what about you?
My favorite part is at the end whenever the dinosaur beats him and the flag is just coming down.
Yeah, the banner. Yeah.
Mm.
Not bad. What about you? What about you, Zeke? What's your favorite part?
One of my favorite parts is where the Velociraptor, where it's trying to be like,
Sigma, Sigma, boy,
No,
Sigma,
I
boy,
can't
Sigma,
let
boy.
him.
clever girl.
Oh, yes, because they said that they fight in packs. And so the one Velociraptor will keep your attention, and then the other two will attack from the side. So that was
Wait,
good call.
I thought that was a different dinosaur.
That one was the raptor. That one was. I think I just really liked one of the coolest moments is the one where they see the dinosaurs for the first time. I just like that moment. It's so iconic when he stands up in the Jeep and the lady's looking at the map and talking about things, and then he turns her head to the dinosaurs, and then she stands up really slowly, and it's just like, and then of course the camera shows all the dinosaurs for the first time, and it's just super epic. That was my favorite part, I think. Do you have a favorite dinosaur from the first movie?
Yes.
Chicken.
Yeah, apparently the Google chicken's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Wait, one sec. Let me go look at the dinosaurs. It's Gigasaurus Rex. Birds are dinosaurs.
Chicken jockey.
Wait, mine's the Brachiosaurus. He's just a Sigma. He's just like a nonchalant, he doesn't kill humans. He just eats his flowers in peace, like the Sigma. He's like a nonchalant aura farmer.
He needs dreads. He looks so good.
Yo, you would have dreads? Brachiosaurus with dreads?
What about you, Connor? Do you have a favorite dinosaur from the first movie?
Not really. I like those ones that are in packs because they're really fast.
Yeah, Velociraptors. What about you, Zeke? You said your favorite was the...
My favorite is probably this Triceratops. The Triceratops has like the 3 horns, and it has a mane, kind of.
Yeah, it's got...
around its neck with a bunch of spikes. They're so cool.
Yeah.
And they're so small. I just want, you're so cute.
The baby ones, yeah.
I have another favorite. It's the one with the rock on his tail.
Oh, is that one? That one was in Jurassic World.
No, Zeke said Triceratops if you were paying attention.
Stegosaurus. I think that's a Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
I have the Lego version with the rock on its tail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. One other moment I wanted to comment on that I always found fascinating was when they first hear the T-Rex walking, and it's the thud that's on the ground, and it starts to vibrate the water in the cup in the Jeep. Remember that part? So they kept tapping it. They had trying to create the effect that they wanted to create, but Steven Spielberg wanted it to go from inside out instead of outside in. And so what they ended up having to do was put a guitar string underneath the cup. And when you pluck the guitar string, that gave the right inside out effect that they were going for. So it wasn't being shaken by the earth; it was being shaken by the sound of the footsteps. So I always thought that was a cool thing, like a behind the scenes thing. So
what if they made like a giant dinosaur? That'd be a lot easier.
Just made one?
Yeah.
And mechanically had it walking through the set?
I remember my first actual experience with dinosaurs is when I had those little dinosaurs that you put into water and then they expand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had
13.
8 of those. Ah, those are so cool.
They don't grow that much though.
Now there's Grow a Girlfriend. There used to be Grow Dinosaurs. Now there's Grow a Girlfriend. What's a signal?
Yeah. Well, everybody needs some help sometimes. So the one thing I wanted to say too was the shaving cream comes up later also. So that's why I wanted to mention it. So in the first movie, Wayne Knight plays Nedry. He's the guy that's going to sell the DNA to the black market, and in order to like transport it out, he gets this really cool refrigerated device that looks like a shaving can, and so he opens it up and then drops the test tubes in there. And then at the end of the first movie, it falls in the, well, not the end, but when he gets killed, it falls in the mud, and then the mud kind of covers it up. And so I think it comes back possibly in like Jurassic 2 or Jurassic 3. But then in Jurassic World Dominion, the guy that's the head of the organization that's redoing the dinosaurs has it as like on his shelf as like a collectible. He's collected all these artifacts from the Jurassic Park stuff, the Jurassic World parks and stuff like that. And so that's one that he had on his shelf. So I thought that was cool too. Another part I wanted to mention was BD Wong played Dr. Wu, and he was in all the movies that we saw as the guy that was kind of crafting the DNA pieces to make these dinosaurs real. So anything else before we rate it? Anything else about Jurassic Park? Cool. All right, let's rate it. Zeke, you go first.
I rate it like a 3.5. It's not that great. Quality was low. The voices were like, you know when like in old sitcoms when someone yells, it's like, and it's like, it's like there's like a thing that makes it sound inorganic.
Okay, interesting.
Like it's doled out or something.
Okay.
I'd probably give it a 4 booms.
Okay. Connor?
I give it a 4.
Okay. I think I give it a 5 because it's so iconic. So iconic. Starts all the things. And the fact that 1993 computer graphics still work today means they did something really amazing. So that's kind of what I deal with.
Before we go to the next segment, I think we should do the pillow test.
Yep.
What's the pillow test?
So you basically put a pillow up to your mouth, and then you scream, and you see if it goes through the pillow. And the more sound absorbent it is, the better the pillow.
How about you just do that and see how your pillow works?
That gets like an 8.
Hear it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to Jurassic World, directed by a guy named Colin Trevorrow. He was actually tapped to direct the episode 9 of Star Wars, and then they replaced him with J.J. Abrams. But it stars
are Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Ty Simpkins.
Yes.
And Chris Pratt especially.
And what do we know Chris Pratt from?
We know him
Star-Lord.
as
Star-Lord, yep.
We know him as Emmett from the Lego Movie, one of my favorite movies.
Yep. Anything else that you can think of? Parks and Rec. That was kind of his huge breakout when he got on the show called Parks and Recreation with Amy Poehler. So yeah, he's in that. A couple others that are in this. Ty Simpkins plays a young kid. And it's Irfan Khan plays the guy that's kind of following in the original guy's footsteps for taking care of the park and trying to take care of the dinosaurs. Vincent D'Onofrio is a guy that I really like as an actor. And he plays the kind of the bad guy of the film, the antagonist of the film that's trying to do something. I don't want to give it away to take it away from Colton as he tells us about it. A couple other call outs. Jake Johnson's in this, Omar Sy, and Lauren Lapkus. And so, yeah, lots of fun, lots of good actors, and a good kind of setup, trying to restart. This one came out in, like I said, 2015. So it's trying to kick it back into the social pop culture, mindset. Let's see some dinosaurs again. Let's see if we can tell a story that's fun. So Colton, why don't you give us the little bit of rundown of the story?
So basically at the start there, it shows like a house, and then there's people in that house. There's 2 kids, a mom, and the mom wants to send her kids off to this Jurassic Park thing because their aunt runs the place, and one kid really likes dinosaurs, so they decided to go. And there's this one guy who just wants to be with his girlfriend, so he doesn't want to go, but he has to go. And then he goes, and then they make their way to Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. Whoopsie daisy. And then it cuts to Chris Pratt training these velociraptors. And the antagonist comes up with a crazy idea that maybe we should make these a war weapon, which he thought was a really bad idea because he's trying to train these to like be a stunt, I guess, for like the Jurassic World. But the guy is trying to take over the park so he can make all of the like raptors like a fighting weapon. So, and then it cuts to the lab where it shows people working on a new dinosaur, Indominus Rex. And it's supposed to be like a hybrid of some lizards, like a whole bunch of other stuff, and T-Rex DNA. So obviously it's a stupid idea, but they're too stupid to realize that. So next they go to the this girl who owns the place goes and gets Chris Pratt, the Sigma Alpha male, and they go to, because she wants to show him the Indominus Rex. So they go to Indominus Rex cage and they see scratch marks on the gate. So they go and they think that the Indominus Rex escaped. So they go out into the cage and to check on it, and little do they know, there's no way he could have left. And the tracker shows that he is in the cage that they're in, so they're cooked. Because apparently this thing is really smart. So like he knew that they're gonna see the things or the scratch marks, and they're gonna go there, and then he can get an easy lunch. So one of them died, one of them didn't, and Indominus Rex got out the cage. And apparently he just kills for fun. He doesn't kill for food. So they needed to neutralize him. But apparently now he can camouflage. He's as strong as a freaking T-Rex. He's like
way smarter
than anything there, and he's just killing everybody. So they're kind of cooked, and that's all I remember.
Yeah, the two boys run off. The two boys run off from the person that was supposed to be watching them, and they get in one of the gyrospheres and are like driving around in the park with like no protection. And then the Indominus Rex finds them and tries to kill them, and they get away. Meanwhile, the Ant and Chris Pratt are going to try and find them along the way, and so they get up with them. They finally meet up with them. Did you have something you wanted to say?
I wanted to say that the Velociraptors joined the Indominus Rex's side because that thing is part raptor.
But I was going to mention the reason it has two things. It was able to turn off its like camouflage, not only its visibility but also its heat signature. So the infrared cameras couldn't see if it was in the cage or in the holding area. So that came from a frog that they had used to help fill in some of the gaps of the DNA. And that's the same thing that happened with the original Jurassic Park, as they were using these other animals to try and fill in the DNA gaps. This time they were trying to craft a dinosaur because people were bored with just going to see dinosaurs. They wanted to they had to make a bigger event and all that stuff, bigger draw. Go ahead, Connor.
They were bored, but the place was so packed. I don't know how, like, it seemed like it was really popular, but they were saying it was boring.
Yeah. It's like they were treating it like a theme park that you just got to get another ride that's cooler and better. But they didn't realize their rides are actually killing people.
So basically when the raptors are in their mouth hold things, it's like they can't move their mouth or anything. They can't bite. But this guy wants to he tries to pet one, but then it's like, and then it actually moves.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets scared, and then he doesn't pet it.
Yeah. And then they decide they're going to use the raptors with Chris Pratt to go after the Indominus Rex. So a really cool scene. He's jumping on his motorcycle and riding his motorcycle while the raptors are running after the Indominus Rex. And then, like you said, Zeke, when it got to they were not going to take it down. It ended up joining the pack because and it became their new alpha, because he said he's the alpha, and it ended up becoming the new alpha for the pack. So
you want to know why? because that thing is part raptor.
Yep, that's
They
what
kept
happened.
it hidden. The rest is classified. Base DNA, T-Rex, rest, Velociraptor.
Yep.
More like Sigma Raptor.
So they end up finding the kids. They end up trying to get away. They're going to go after the Indominus Rex. The Indominus Rex ends up turning the raptors against the humans. So now they're fighting some more. They're running away. They get to the main areas. The brothers found the original Jurassic Park station. So that was kind of cool. We saw the banner again. It was on the ground, and we saw the raptor paintings. The raptors kind of turn on the humans, and so they have to get away. They finally do get away. She goes and lets out the T-Rex, which is the original T-Rex from the original movie. And it comes out, and it fights the Indominus Rex. They're trying to get away while the dinosaurs are fighting. Gets it close to the edge, and then the big, what was it?
Mosasaurus.
Yes, ends up taking the Indominus Rex out. So, new alpha in that world. So that was pretty cool.
It's the Mosasaurus, isn't it?
What's that?
I think the Mosasaurus is the alpha, actually, because the Tyrannosaurus Rex was getting killed by the Indominus Rex, and they needed all of their help. And then all the Mosasaurus Rex was just looking for a little snack, and then he ate him for fun.
So Colton, you may not know this, but the Mosasaurus can only go in water. It cannot go on land. So therefore, it is the water alpha. The land alpha, however, is Chris Pratt.
No, it's me.
What? That was a good one.
Chris Pratt is the best, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's kind of a rundown of the story. What's some of your favorite parts, Zeke? What's one of your favorite parts?
One of my favorite parts is when thinking. One of my favorite parts is when they were thinking about releasing the raptors. I said, "Hello, gorgeous raptor. Did you enjoy your nap?"
Yeah,
I love dinosaurs now.
that's cool. Connor, what about you?
I don't know. I think that older kid was just a Sigma. He literally looks exactly like me, and then the other kid looks like Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
Except my hair isn't curly, and I'm
Anymore.
You have the
We
same
just got
eyes,
it
though.
cut.
Right? You have blue eyes.
And you have the same dirty blonde.
Yep.
Yeah. What about you, Colton?
Oh, my favorite part is when the Mosasaurus kills the Indominus Rex. Oh, guys, by the way, we're going to play a tortilla slap game soon.
No, we're not.
We're going to post that on our
Yeah,
Instagram.
you're gonna play against your mom.
Yeah, that's the point.
What the tortilla? Whenever we played it, it ripped on our hands.
Yeah.
Wait,
We
You
need
gotta
to get
get
some
better tortillas.
strong tortillas.
Since that one's already taken, I did like when they were feeding the Mosasaurus because it was like that big old shark, great white shark, was being dropped, and then Mosasaurus comes up, grabs it, and goes in the water, and then all the stands that the people are on get lowered so they can see the dinosaur.
I feel like
underwater,
Disney
too.
would do something like that.
Honestly,
Yeah.
though, oh my goodness, yes!
Let's go ahead and rate it. What do we got, Connor?
It's 4.
Okay, Colton.
Gets 5 big ones.
5 big ones.
Cool. Zeke.
It gets its own special Chris Pratt rating. It's
Haven't you
Alright.
already given a Chris Pratt rating to the last one?
Every
think
movie
you
with Chris
have.
Pratt is a legend.
Exactly.
He is a legend.
I think I gave it a 3.5. But I might go up to a 4. It was fun to watch it again, so I'll go up to a 4. Cool. All right, let's move on to the last movie. We watched this one today, and it's a 2.5-hour movie, so it was a little long. Like I said in the intro, it does bring the old cast and the new cast into the same film, so I thought that was cool. This one was also directed by Colin Trevorrow. So he directed the first one, and he came back and directed this one. It also stars all the characters we already said: Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, lots of folks. So lots of fun to see. In my opinion, it was fun to see those characters interacting together. Zeke, why don't we hear the story?
Okay, so the story is about how there are a bunch of dinosaurs on the loose after the events of Jurassic World. And how it's affecting human life because dinosaurs are killing thousands and thousands of people every week. And it's getting to be a real problem. Yet, some people have dinosaur fight rings. They bet on dinosaurs. They eat dinosaurs. How do you eat a dinosaur? It's impossible. They are apexes. And some people breed them.
But what's the main issue that comes up?
The main
It's
issue,
not the dinosaurs. It's what?
basically, the main issue is the locusts are bad. They keep eating our crops, our grains, and there's this other company that developed the locust, but we don't know that yet.
Mm-hmm.
They're only eating non-biosyn seeds.
Yeah.
And it's getting to be a real problem because biosyn wants to take control of all the goods, and they want to become the biggest business on earth just because of some stupid locusts.
Yep.
So Chris Pratt and the woman ran off to a cabin. They're protecting this girl who got kidnapped by biosyn.
Yeah, that's right. Because Biosyn wants to kidnap the girl. We find out because she's a clone. They want to use her DNA because she was made by her mother. They want to kind of figure out how she was made because they can use that to help correct the problems with the dinosaurs having the DNA of these other animals, so they can make them more pure animals. So that's part of what they wanted to get the girl for. But the locust piece, so Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum, they're kind of following this track of trying to solve the locust problem. And then Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard are trying to rescue the girl. So that's kind of the two storylines going on at the same time. They all end up at this island that's really, really cool. Lots of cool things. There's a eccentric leader of this island that reminds me a lot of the head of Apple right now, the way that he was kind of dressed and his hair being white and wearing the glasses and stuff. And then he seems all nice and cool, but come to find out later, he's the one responsible for the locust outbreak, and he's trying to do it to basically make it so that all the crops are eaten and they have to get their food from biosyn. So the group goes along. They all try to solve their mysteries. What we find out is that the eccentric leader's assistant is actually the one that gave Jeff Goldblum the secret message that the locusts were formed there, and so that kind of kicked off the whole trying to solve the mystery. Both groups end up coming together later in the movie, and they try to outrun the dinosaur. What was the dinosaur for this one?
It's a Giganotosaurus. Wait.
Giganotosaurus?
Let me see how to pronounce it. It's Giganotosaurus.
Okay. Yes, that was it. And that ends up, they said that this is the largest carnivore of all history and all that stuff. So that was kind of cool to see that. The Giganotosaurus ends up fighting the T-Rex at the end again. T-Rex takes him out with the help of the birdish-looking dinosaur that had really long, scratchy fingers and stuff too. So, like I said, they ended up working together, getting out of there. There's a lady that flies a plane that helps them get to the island. The pterodactyls taking down the plane was pretty cool, but they end up getting out of there using one of the helicopters and leaving the island to itself. But then there's like this kind of closing documentary type report thing happening that basically says, hey, we're going to live in harmony with the dinosaurs, and happy ending. So cool. Connor, what's your favorite part?
When the T-Rex kicks the Megasaurus into the bird thing, but has the claws, so it stabbed the dinosaur.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Zeke, what about you? Do you have another favorite part?
That's too bad.
Probably when they rescue the dinosaurs from that illegal thing from the start. They bred dinosaurs.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I didn't mention was the dinosaur, the raptor that was the beta in Jurassic World under Chris Pratt's Alpha for the pack, ends up still kind of living in the forest around Chris Pratt and has had a baby. So it's also the fact that this created dinosaur is like made herself pregnant and had the baby is a big kind of deal too. All right, Colton, what about you? What's your favorite part?
Well, Connor stole mine, so I'm going to steal his other favorite part. So at the very start, this is also one of my favorites. it shows a car driving, and then there's a real crash that happened there, but they just CGI'd a dinosaur on there.
Oh,
And
man.
then, yeah. It was pretty
It was a
cool.
real crash. Like, it was driving, and then something happened, and it was going off it just drove off the mountain, but they edited it so the dinosaur was just walking the path.
That's cool. Yeah, my favorite part, I think, so I did like the fact that the dinosaurs in this one had some that were feathers. They talked about it being in different phases and different eras of that kind of Jurassic period, and they kept saying it was the Cretaceous period, and these dinosaurs had feathers and were more bird-like than what we've seen in the previous movies. So I thought the design of those were really cool. The one fight on the ice where Chris Pratt and the other lady had to try and get away, I thought that was really fun. Yeah, so I'd say that was my favorite part of the movie, for sure. Cool. Anything else you want to say about Jurassic World Dominion?
Not really.
All right, let's go ahead and rate it. Colton, why don't you go first?
I said I was going to give it a 4, but I'm going to be a harsh judge, so it gets a 3.
3?
I give it a 4.5. I think it was a really good movie, but it felt too long. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually OD.
There was a lot of good stuff happening.
It was a lot of
Like,
OD.
it kept me engaged.
Very cool.
Because I think it's because me and Zeke both have ADHD and we didn't really like it that much, but Connor liked it because he doesn't have ADHD.
I was engaged like the whole time.
I think it's because like we can't really. It's hard for us to
Sit
engage
still.
with the movie.
Maybe. What about you, Zeke? What do you rate it?
It was really good. I rated it 4.5.
Oh wait,
Okay.
I thought Zeke didn't
See?
like it.
Oh, man.
I liked it.
Cut
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
Were
Yeah.
you giving it a 4?
No, I still give it a 3. I'm not changing my
Yeah,
answer.
I think I give it a 3 too. That's what I gave it.
Man.
So. But I'm glad y'all liked it. Awesome. That's really good.
Chicken.
Are you looking forward to the new one?
Yeah, it
You
looks
both?
way more scary than all the other ones.
Speaking of a new one, we are gonna do a podcast on it with this one. Obviously, I'm your host, and maybe this one. We still haven't decided if Connor would like to join us in the kids' podcasts.
All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you all next time.
Chicken jockey.
Dance, Zeke, dance.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Again, you can check out all of our links at bio.site/movies that make you. Feel free to drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, keep watching movies.